Welcome to Gail's Garden, Herbs, and More. This is the first thing I see when I stand up from my little bed, looking out the window. A day in December. It rained pretty good yesterday, late yesterday and last night. So it's cold out there, but with the clouds, not quite as cold as it used to be. What do I do in the winter when I don't have all of my garden and herbs and everything? Well, actually, if you notice, I have a lot of my plants covered, and I go out there and pick lettuce or bok choy or pak choy or cabbage leaves or broccoli leaves. I don't actually have the broccoli yet, just the leaves, and the big leaves on a lot of those plants are very edible. So I'll go unwrap a little plastic and get what I need for the day. But I'm not going to do that today. I already have something made up. I've been eating off from the last 3 days, a big pot of corn bacon and potato chowder, which I added astragalus to. Astragalus powder. It's wonderful for soups and stews and things like that. Astragalus helps to build your immune system. So I will be getting a little of that later today. I will probably, this is on my table, see that there? That's my last tomato, and I've got a few strips of bacon in the fridge. I'll warm back up and make my last tomato bacon sandwich of the year. Been saving that tomato from my garden. The other stuff is just stuff that I had picked and I have laid drying out. Now, on the right there is some tulsi. I'm letting it finish drying. Hopefully the seeds were developed enough I can save a few of them, and that's a little calendula flower laying there I picked, I think yesterday or day before. But there's just different things there that I've picked, and underneath that plate's a little bowl of ginger that I harvested and had dry. I'm just setting out to dry. That's some of my basil I brought in before it froze. I put it in a jar of water, it rooted, and I put it in some dirt. And we will see how long it lasts here. Basil does not like cold, but it's still alive in December. Of course, I got it in the house, but we'll see. Yeah. What I'm getting ready to do here, I wanted to show you, I've already got it made up in this. It's been sitting in here actually a couple days. It's cold enough in here, it stays pretty well. And it's really concentrated of my chai tea. And my chai is different every time I make it. It's what I have. You have your basics for the chai and then other stuff that I have on hand. I threw a little elderberries in there this time too, along with it's got some elderberry blossoms in it too. But that's my homemade chai tea. Then this time I had mixed stinging nettle, horsetail, and of course with your chai, what really brings out the bold flavor is the black tea. But I don't mix the black tea into the chai in case I want just some chai with another tea for my evening, because there's some caffeine in your black tea. It's not like coffee, but there is some caffeine, and I don't want it to keep me awake in the evenings if I want some of this in the evening. Of course, I have my fresh honey from a local farmer that I know, and I'm getting ready to warm some of that chai up. That's the concentrate. I'll warm a little of that up and warm some hot water to mix with it, and sometimes I just make it and use it straight. Right now it's pretty stout, so I'm using it as a concentrate, and it lasts a few days that way. So that's what we're starting out with. How else am I using herbs? Well, my little chihuahua has a hard time breathing, so this is some hyssop that I've grown, anise hyssop. I put it in that tea bag and put it in my dog's water. The reason I put that in my dog's water is because Chai has a lot of, I don't know what causes it. You know, he's disabled and he has a lot of trouble breathing sometimes. He gets all clogged up. But right now he's also got an infection in his gums, and the little side of his face is swollen. So I have my homemade antibiotic herb mix. So I give him some of that. You can't give him a whole lot. He's just little. So, but I'm giving him that. And then I'm also doing a poultice on the side of his face, as long as he'll let me hold it there. Okay, there is my cup of chai tea. I heated it up on a little pan in the stove, and then in my tea kettle I heated water. Still looks nice and strong. And then I'm going to put, with chai, in India, chai is it's a big drink there. And they always sweeten. Chai is meant to have a little milk and some honey or sweetener of your choice. So I will add those and enjoy my morning tea. And already I have incorporated a lot of herbs into my morning, and I haven't even been up for an hour yet. But you see, that's what you have to start doing, is thinking of every way you can. I like to share with you what I am doing, so that you can start thinking, giving you ideas of what you can do to incorporate your herbs. Now, I have shared before, but I'll share again some. You can make your own chai tea, and it is expensive to build up your stock to make it with. Once you get it, though, and you start making it, it's nothing like store-bought. It is so much better. But these are some of the things I do. Cinnamon chips, orange, organic, everything's organic. Orange peel, black pepper. You have to be careful with the burdock. It's really good for your liver, but it's kind of bitter, so I don't put a whole lot. Cardamom, fennel, cloves. I didn't have rose hips this time. I did have coriander, so I put coriander in it. Now, I do in my little bullet blender thing, I'll put in a handful of my pepper, cloves, cardamom, fennel, and I will whirl those around and break them up so that they're not so big, and they'll actually, the smaller pieces, you can extract more of the goodness out of the herbs. So, yeah. Okay, there we go. Now, I have not had a cold or a virus since 2021. It's been 2 years. 2 years, no virus. Not saying that I won't, but I've really been working at it, trying to keep all this stuff. I have to deal with other stuff, like my heart and stuff, but more herbs that I use to help such situations as that. As far as my gut, there's a lot of things I do for that. But this is one of the things that really helps in digestion. Very, very good. Those herbs are really, really good. Plus, I have others that I use. If I feel the slightest tickle in my throat or scratchiness, there's particular herbs I use. But anyway, yeah, so sometimes there's herbal things that I do I don't even think about. I almost forgot to show you that, the one I just put away a second ago. That's just something that's used every day. Now, using herbs is not the only thing you do. These were full of mushrooms. You never want to eat mushrooms raw. You always want to eat them cooked. I bought a bunch of those and I dehydrated them, and they are wonderful to add flavor to your foods that you cook. I'm using mushrooms now more than I ever have. I didn't used to use them at all, but I've really found I really like them, and once they're cooked, they're really good for you. So, it is not just eating a bunch of herbs, which is very, 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 very important, of course. That's my main focus, especially with this channel, among other things. But it's a healthy lifestyle in general, trying to eat organic and healthy foods. One thing I do is I try to get exercise. Now I'm between raindrops, basically. It is starting to rain. I see it. I'm going to have to head back. I did find a pine. I was looking for a few pine. There's not a whole lot around, but now I don't want to strip too much off this because it's just not good for the tree. But I will Should have brought something to clip it with. So I'm going to get a little bit of this and then I'll be back with you. Okay, I just got back to the house pretty much as quick as I could because it's starting to rain again and my fingers are like froze. You know, you say, well, why are you doing that? Yes, pine is good. It makes a wonderful tea. I'm trying to keep my senses, my knowledge sharp. And if you don't use now what you know is good for you, when things get harder for you, you're not going to remember everything, especially when you're really stressed. But if it's all become a part of your daily life, you're kind of used to that way of living. So I can't stress that enough. Anyway, with pine needles, oh man, they smell so good. Like, you know, when just fresh trees and pine boughs and, oh, it'll make my whole house smell good. My house. I call it a house. It's an RV, but I've lived in a house all my life until now. Either a house or a nice mobile. But that's okay. I'm doing well here. Yeah, with pine needles, they are very high in vitamin C, but C is destroyed with heat. So what I will do is have just, you know, not boiling or anything, but a hot water. I got to clean out my tea press thing here. And then I'll pour some warm water over them. I'll take them off the main stem and dice them up a little because they'll extract easier that way if I put them on the cutting board and dice up the little, you know, these needles here. I'll take them off the stem. I'll dice them up. I'll put them in my press with some hot water over them and let them set most of the day. Then if I want to warm it up, I'll pour some in my cup and pour some warm water over it to warm it up. But I probably won't drink it super, super hot because I do want the benefits of the vitamin C. The day has just begun, and I've already taken up a lot of time for the video. I try to keep them fairly short. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you all that I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and weekend coming up. This is Thursday, December 7th, I believe. Wow, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. Anyway, I will catch y'all next time. Y'all, God bless. Bye-bye.